So, about 20 years ago, give or take a little bit, I was excited about going to the altar. I was excited that I was about to get married. And you know that part when they say, for better or for worse? Well, my worse was becoming before the better. Because when my husband married me, I was already mentally losing it. But I was happy on that day. Went up to the altar, and I remember my husband even laughing at me saying, "Girl, you was real serious about them vows, wasn't you?" Yep, I absolutely was. Very, very serious. But today, I sat back and started thinking, after all the years that I've been married, I go back and look back and say, I don't even know how to be a wife. Because you see, where I came from, the examples I saw, everything was single. I seen my mama do everything by herself pretty much. No man around. We ain't surrounded by a bunch of people that got partners or whatever. Everybody's single. And as I look back over the 20 years, I'm a full married woman. And all I knew was how to do what single women do. Because that's the example that I had. When I say, yeah, I had a husband. He went to work. He provided, made sure we had what we needed. But when I say I didn't know how to be a wife, I felt like I still did all the same things as single parents did. I moved like a single parent. Everything I did, I felt like I needed to do it on my own. Everything. But I look back and I say, I thank God for my husband because I didn't have to worry about the financial part of it. But everything else, I look back, and not because my husband was not willing to do it. I was a superhero. See, when he met me, I was working 3 jobs. So I never came into it thinking nobody was going to take care of me. But then, I sat down and I go back and think over it. Girl, you did everything like a single parent. I felt like I had to take the kids everywhere I went. Not a requirement, but it's what I saw. It's what I knew how to do. So that's the way that I moved. Full married woman, but I still felt single. But when you don't have the example of what a wife should be doing, what a husband should be doing, you in it learning at the same time. And I think that's what we all do. We get into situations and we learn from them. But this was just my thought for today is that still there's parts of me that still does not know how to be a wife. When I say that, probably not in the way that you're thinking, but more so in the way of I just don't know what I'm doing because everybody, if you don't have the example before you, then how do you know how a wife is supposed to move? What is the expectations of a husband? You've never seen it before. And where I come from is you give men what they want and you require nothing. That's my story. I'm not saying that anybody else should go that way. So, in turn, because the things that happened to me prior made me respond in ways that when you should go to your husband and have conversations with them about things that are going on in the marriage or how you feel about certain things, you usually won't go and have those conversations. So I have this thing, what you call the build up. So there will be things that are frustrating me. And it's like they stack and they stack on top of each other. And it's like you keep that smile on your face and you never say anything about it. But it's only so many things that can stack on top of each other before they fall over. And that's how I've gone through my entire marriage. Not because anybody's stopping me from talking or communicating. Um, it just feels like when you've had the life of nobody really listening, nobody really paying attention. So why would they pay attention now? So um and where I am right now in my process is I'm getting better with being able to say things um and talk about them, but I get so frustrated, especially if I say it over and over again, because then I'm back at that place. I feel like I'm not being heard. So I'm still learning after 20 years. How do you be a wife? I've heard other men say, you don't bring correction to your husband. There's no man that I've ever brought correction to before because I don't know how to do it. But if it was a situation where I was angry, I knew how to handle it then. But that ain't the way like I want to handle things in my relationship. But when you let things stack up on top of each other, the way that I do, trying to keep that smile on your face, usually those things end up explosive. Which then adds another problem. So I just thought that I'd come on and start a conversation with that, because I know if I'm in that place, there's got to be some other women that have been in that place. And it's not that there's a major problem with the man, but when a woman has grown up and every man that you basically come across has violated you and you've not been able to tell, you've held on to that hurt, things don't come out the same way or be as easy as everybody else say. It's like, you just tell them this way. See, everybody come from somewhere and everybody got a different background. So it's kind of like, where'd your background, how did you get here? And everybody who I've been with, they've all been way older than I am. And so it's like, I want to say some things, but also too, I hate conflict. I really do. And I don't want to do the thing where I build up and then it's explosive. I want to do it a little bit as it comes, deal with it in that moment. So, so I've got to that little part, and that just that part of it. And this ain't really like no story time, but for those of you who know, hey, I'm Life with Tashana, and usually I come on here, and if I got something on my mind, I just come on here and start running my mouth and saying what I need to say, because if I don't, I get lost in the chat and then be all off subject. But I wanted to come and see if I got any other good ladies or whatever that knows what I'm talking about. So hi, how y'all doing tonight? Thank you all for being here and even engaging in this conversation with me. Lady S, congratulations. Thank you very much. How are you tonight? Hey, Callie, how are you? Good to see you. You made it tonight. Yes, this is a great topic. Miss Coffee. Hi, Miss Coffee. How are you? Thank you. And actually, ladies, I did not just get married. I did not. I have been married for more than 20 years. But I'm still, just because I've been married for 20 years, some people throw that around like it's such a great badge of honor or whatever, and that, like you have all the answers to everything because you've been married that long. And no, at least not me. I don't know how anybody else's own work, but I don't have all of the answers. I'm engaged, and I found myself thinking that very thing, how to be a wife. I read the entire Bible. And Lady S, I did too. But guess what? Reading the whole Bible, it was like reading a story to me. And the only story that caught my eye, because like, when they start getting into who all related to everybody and all of that stuff, I'll be like, child, please, I ain't got time to read all that right now. But I read it before, and I'm the most the most exciting part of the Bible that I got to was the story of Job. Every time I talk about the Bible, I always got to talk about Job. But that was the story right there in the book. It was some other good ones, but that one right there. I read the entire Bible and have learned a lot about the marriage laws. That part right there is like reading through it and finding out how things go in that way. Absolutely, I'm down for that right there. But the reality of walking through it, and I am a part of me is thinking in my head, Girl, by now that everything should be a breeze. And I know one thing that I do know, that in this, the things that I'm going through are all repeat things. And it's like, also too, it's like there's I always say there's, to everything that you go through in life, there's a process to it. It's not like you can just, something you've been doing all of your life, you just go to it and you just switch it on and off like, oh, I've been doing this all my life, I know how to do this right here. No, there's a process to going through things. So each time that I see it come back around, I know that I haven't completed it the right way, because it's back again. I didn't give a proper response to it or whatever. And what I'm tired of is the cycle. I'm very frustrated with the cycle. And I can't say it got anything to do with anybody else. It is me. What's to read and type and plan on reading and studying it again. Good night, Miss Cole. All is well. Be blessed. Thank you. It's rough. I'm on year 11. Well, good, good, good. They say once you make it over that 7 year itch, then you then you good. What you say, Miss Coffee? He alive. Yeah, mine is too. He alive, he alive. But God knows, like, sometimes just, girl, somebody can take me on a little vacation. Okay, anyways, yes, but yeah, he alive over here. I've been married 21 years today, and boy, oh, Callie, yes, it is. It's like it is a lot. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. And then a lot of people that I run into that are married, I I look and I see, I say people create illusions about marriage. Some people, you see them on TV and see them out in public, but for me, it wouldn't be far fetched to say it's like the same way with your kids. You don't like your kids every day and everything they do. On many a days of the week, I don't like my husband. He probably don't like me. I don't want to be around him. I need some space by my own self. Don't mean that I want to end my marriage or no, none of that. But it's just like, oh my God. It's just like, you know, I just don't want to be around nobody. Ugh. Oh, Miss Coffee, did you say you live with a human Bible? Lord, he ain't preaching to you every day. My favorite book is Matthew. Lady S, remind me a little bit about what happened in Matthew, because sometimes somebody can spark something, say something about what was going on in that area, and then Job. I can't forget about Job, because Job is like somebody who, like, I hate to say compare myself to him or whatever, the things he's going through, because I've lost so much stuff. And when lost, like L after L after L after L. So, and I do feel like that this year is going to be the year that I no longer lose, but I gain. But it ain't starting out. So, to look that way. So, yes, and happy birthday, Callie. Absolutely. I don't know how I just went past that, being that you said it was today. But 21 years, me and you right in there with each other. Yes. So it has been it has been a doozy. I be leaving every year. Miss Coffee. Ooh. Well, you know what? I think it ain't nothing wrong. It ain't nothing wrong with leaving. If you go back, you know, cause I don't left before too, you know, and came back. But it's like, and I can honestly say I've I'm in a marriage where I never felt like my husband has cheated on me. I haven't cheated on him. I can't say the thought ain't crossed my mind because I would be lying about that. But I've never cheated on him, and I don't believe he ever cheated on me. And if he did, he keeping it a good old secret. I don't have those kinds of issues. But for me, I feel like my issue is, and I know probably somebody gonna say something or whatever, but at this moment, I don't even care. I'm just this is what's really happening. My thing, I feel like I've always had great respect for my husband, but the fact is my husband is 20 years older than I am. So it's like, you know, they kind of be saying like you can't teach an old dog new tricks or whatever. Um, and when you can't teach him new tricks, then you put him to sleep. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm kidding. But being that he's so much older than I am, um, and he's very, very strong minded. And it's almost like sometimes he can't hear me unless I turn into a mean girl. And I don't want to be mean to anybody. I just don't. And I know people be telling me all the time, girl, nice don't get you nowhere. I don't want to be mean. But it's like, I don't even, the communication problem is, it's like he gonna hear what I say, but it's like I want to say it and I don't want you to say nothing. When I say to you something, I don't want no, it's like I don't hardly ever say or complain about anything. But then it's like if I do come to you with a complaint or something, can you just like hear me out? And it's like I can not just say something and not get like a pushback or something like that. And it's just like that also feels like I ain't being heard. Um Again, I can open up my mouth and say something, but ugh, I just get tired. I hate having to repeat myself over and over again. I do. And some days I wake up wondering what I would do without him. Oh, Miss Coffee, yes, you absolutely is married. Yes, yes, yes. See, now you pick the other side. Now you pick the other side of it. Because see, I can go through all of that. And then there's days where I can look at him and be like, Lord, whatever you do, take me before you take him because I don't know what I'll do. I don't want to live without him. So it's like that fine balance, and then you try not to nitpick on the things because they're not really big things, but they still things that frustrate the hell out of you. So um I don't want to be without him. And I can promise you there's plenty of days I can't I don't even want to see his face. I don't. Then when you go to those places, let me see if anybody else get this right here. Where you're saying, um, you're talking to him about something, and Miss Coffee, see, I done read down ahead, and honey, you must ain't seen yet, cause you can see me. I'm known for keeping a pair of headphones. I got a pair of Beats. If you seen any of my shorts, you will see sometimes them beats is wrapped around my head all the time. Sometimes I forget to take them off, and I'll be like, "How come I can't hardly hear them?" Forgot that I'm wearing them headphones. But I keep me some headphones, and the beats play loud. I can drown. They drown out everything in the background. But honey, yes, I got the headphones. It's comfy, so I must be doing a little something right in the married world. I got me some headphones. My earbuds stay in. I tend to say, "Huh," a lot. Oh, me too, Ella. Huh? What you said? Oh, and I'm good at I can't see nothing nobody got to say or know nothing because I can't hear you first of all to be talking to me. And so forth and so on. And then I get to places where I just be like, self-isolation. I move away from everybody. Like today. I was in self-isolation day before yesterday. I'm back in self-isolation again today. I'm staying away from everybody. And one, maybe one of y'all would understand in here being married, but I don't have a whole lot of complaints. But this is the one thing. My husband has a dog. Well, my husband and my kids have a dog. I don't got, I got a love / I don't know if I should say the other word because animal lovers might come for me or whatever, but I don't like dogs like other people like them. Or let me just say the way my husband and my kids love dogs. I respect what he say, like, they protect their second part of protection and so forth and so on. And my kids just love them. Me, I didn't grow up. My mama didn't play the animal thing. You couldn't even touch the fish tank and put fish fingerprints on the fish tank. No, none of that stuff. So I didn't grow up like with animals. And with dogs too. When they start smelling like them Frito chips and all of that stuff, I can't stand it. Smells send me crazy. I tend to like the smell of bleach. And if stuff don't smell like bleach, then it don't smell right. But anyways, him and his dog that he has, that he went and got, that was supposed to be one breed and then it turned out to be something else. They wake up every morning and they like having an argument. And for some reason, it doesn't register to him that there's other sleeping people in the house. So about 4:30 this morning, he's yelling at the dog and woke me up right after I just been to sleep probably 2 hours. And unbeknownst to him, because again, I haven't had the conversation. I'm going on a cruise in February. He'll be at home. I can't wait. Callie, I need to be on that trip with you, girl. Small things add up when it's repeated. Absolutely. So on this morning, now mind you, I haven't been saying anything about these little things. I usually just like wake up and kind of just like turn over and don't worry about it. But then too, I got all this other stuff that's piled on top of it. So I got, if you got a little bead board or something up on the wall and like you got different locations pinned on that bead board, I think I got 1,000 beads on that board and they are all little things that are poking at me right now. And it's like I'm lacking in sleep. I was up 2 something in the morning on live night before last night. Then I'm up again. But anyways, y'all get the gist of it. He waking up, him and the dog in there going at it about 4:00 this morning, and it wakes me up. And now I'm waking up and I'm just laying there frustrated because I'm woken up again And I'm like, I just don't understand. Why doesn't it click that if you're sleeping, everybody else is in tune with let daddy get his sleep or whatever. But it's like everybody else is sleeping at nighttime. That's, he's up. He's a night owl, so he moves around. It's like he watches family at nighttime, making sure everything cool here. And I respect that. But if I'm sleeping, give me my chance to sleep. But anyways, I go to sleep about 2 something, and this is around 4:30 this morning. Him and the dog is going at it. I hear it. My eyes pop open, and now I cannot go back to sleep. I am beyond frustrated. Plus everything else that's stacked on top of it. So I just get up, I grab me a bath towel and everything, because at this moment I'm just like, I'm just gonna go and stand in a good old warm shower and I'm just gonna stand there. But I'm so frustrated, and I go and get in the shower and I stand there and just let the shower run on me. And I just start bawling in the shower because I'm like, golly, I just feel like somebody just up on top of me pouring down a whole ordered a case of thumbtacks and just dropping them down on my head every time I turn around. And these are little things that just keep happening. And they're not big things, but I'm not saying anything about them. But they making me madder and madder by the second. So it's like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been somewhere and been away from my family. Even there's a certain time where I've never been anywhere without any of my children. I just started going places, like getting up and literally getting in my car and going places alone. Because for whatever reason in my life before, something said to me, you ain't allowed to do that. So you have to go. And then when I start to switch it up and I start to like say, hey, I'm going X, Y, and Z, I ain't taking the kids with me, that started a whole nother situation. Because like when you've been moving and you've been taking your kids everywhere you go, and then all of a sudden you jumping your behind up talking about, oh, you ain't taking no kids with you. Imagine what that looks like when you start moving in that way. And why wouldn't you think it's like all of a sudden for 30 years now, you've been taking the kids every single where you go, every single place you go, and then all of a sudden you don't want to take the kids nowhere you go. And so, you know, it can be a situation of, if I do this, I'm gonna lose, and if I do that, I'm still gonna lose. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So, hey Bench Thinker, thank you for joining us. My husband, Callie says, my husband has an emotional support dog, and my daughter has one of her puppies. I have no dogs. Tell me how I'm taking. Okay, Callie, you sounds about the same over here. But guess what, too, on the top of everything else that I'm telling you, for the past 2 days now, my kid's dog, our little chihuahua that we done had for 14 years, that me and her don't get along at all, but we got a mutual respect for each other. And I'm kind of like that person that I don't really like dogs and stuff like that, but I don't want to see them hurt. I'll make sure they fed and all of that stuff, but all that lick, I don't like no dogs be licking on. I don't like to see people let dogs lick them in the mouth and not, all that stuff right there. I hate when the dog hair get in the. I hate when the dog hair be in the washroom. But this ain't about the love or the hate of no dogs or no nothing. But I'm just saying, because see, I done went off into a whole nother situation. But yeah. So that dog has, for the past 2 days, is in a place of transitioning. So not only now am I woken up at 4 something in the morning, but I'm waking up to my little, she not unturned into my baby because I done got up 4 something this morning and I'm got her resting on my chest like she a newborn baby, praying for her. That God make this quick and swift because I'm tired of looking at my kids. And also I'll say that this is an uncomfortable situation for me. When you are raised and you ain't allowed to cry or have feelings about different situations, it's hard for me to look at my kids watching they dog that they ain't never lived without ever, because the dog is the same age as the older daughter, and the other daughter, the dog is 3 years older than her, and the other one, she's a 4-year-old. So I'm watching my kids watch this dog decline every day. And so my year is starting off wanting me to focus on is starting all over again. So it's a lot. But yes, when you have them there, if they in your house, you is partly obligated to take care of my dog. Our dog had puppies too. She had 10 of them at one time. That's a whole nother responsibility, because then you want to make sure they go to people that's going to take care of them and do right by them and all of that good old stuff. And so, it's just yeah. When you say you love your own company, Callie, does that mean like you love being by yourself? Is that what that would mean? Yeah, I want to make sure I understand that before I assume that's what you say. I love my own company. But yeah, it's so much stuff. It's so much stuff going on right now. And it's just like I'm trying not to take the frustrations of everything else. And I know if I say something about it and then the response is not like, okay, then I'll try and keep it down. If it's a response of like, well, you ain't never, or whatever, sometimes just men got smart mouths or whatever. And I'm not in the mood for like the smart thing. Okay, Callie, then yes, I'm starting to love my own company too. So it's just like this another thing that happens too. It's like, say you say something before, like today, I decided not to say anything, right? But when you go to like those self-isolation places, when you start to see, all I want is this little thing, but now I can have the world if I got this attitude. And the attitude is what I don't want to have. I hate it when I go to a quiet place and I just don't say anything to anybody, and then you start to get all the extra. You ain't got to ask nobody to do nothing. Like you can, it could be a sink full of dishes and you the only one washing dishes, but not everybody want to go in there and wash dishes. Everybody want to, they want to clean up some extra stuff. They want to buy you a drink from the store. You need anything? And all this. I don't want all the extra stuff. All I want is, what I'm asking for is, keep it good and simple. But again, I said I did not open my mouth and I did not say anything. And truth be told, I don't know what I'm going to say if I do open my mouth and say it, because I'm so frustrated about so many different things that if I don't get the proper response, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. So my self-isolation ain't about what I think somebody gonna say to me or whatever. But me and somebody else was talking about this the other day. My self-isolation is that everything that I got going on, I don't want to take it and dump it over the top of my husband's head, because that's, being honest, that's kind of, that's who I am. I can be like the nicest person. I don't never consider myself nice, but I'm a person that can get along with people. I don't like conflict. I hate confusion and all of that stuff. But if I get enough blocks stacked up on top of me, the blocks ain't gonna just fall over. They gonna fly everywhere. So that's the part, like, I'm trying to avoid. Hey TMB, how you doing? Our only fuss, he think he live in a self. Miss Coffee. Oh, I think that's all of them. I think that's all of them. And then when he sees something, this right here need to be done. But then when you do it, then you will come back and he the main one and put something else in the place that I laid something down in that area or whatever. And I'm just like, and you know what? It don't even be this serious. But let me tell you how I be thinking about it. Miss Coffee. Every time I clean up something and I come back and I see he done put something in the place of where it was, you know that part on Color Purple, when Mister came in there, he sat back in that chair and he put them dirty, nasty boots up there on that counter after Miss Seeley had done did all that cleaning and made that house all nice and clean, and he put them nasty boots up there. You know, you really be getting mad at people that you see on movies and stuff for real, even though it's even though it ain't real, but self-imposed isolation. I love it. Absolutely, Baron Stanker. That is definitely this day before yesterday and today. I've been in self-isolation ever since 4:30 this morning. And I'm still in self-isolation right now. And I don't know when it's, and I feel guilty because I'm so used to just being around them all the time. I'm completely all the way out of the house, self-isolation, not even in the house with them. So it's just and to everybody else it may seem like such a small thing, but I've been getting banged up on even just just in the month. Banged up. So it's just like right now I just don't feel like, is you even in the right head space to be able to go and say, listen, this the problem I'm having with you. I don't want to be woken up out of my sleep. I want the same respect that I give when you're sleeping. I want that too. And I just feel like this is a habit, like every day, him and his dog. I'm talking every day. They go back and forth with each other. At this moment, I even think the dog, I think his dog can talk too, because I think they be in there arguing together. But Miss Coffee, now that right there is one of them that I do just the opposite of that. I get mad, shut down, and you say you end up hungry. I get mad and shut down and I won't eat. probably won't even drink water, no nothing. When it go down, I mean I go down. It's like I'm really quiet, and I when I get into self isolation, even for me to walk past somebody in the house, I don't want anybody to say anything to me because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth if I have to answer to them. And I'm telling you, when I get into a place where I do self isolation, even if my kids ask me something, I must admit I be in places where like I answer them in ways that I shouldn't. And I feel guilty about that. But I do tell them that when I have moments like that, it don't got nothing to do with them. Nothing. It's just I'm trying to work stuff out in my own head. Have nothing to do with them. These are my issues. So that they don't like take on that problems like, and also too trying to have the balance of, is this something that you, if your kids have kids one day, is this something that you want them to do to their kids? Could you stand it if you saw this happening to one of your grandkids or whatever? And I find that sometimes I have to say stuff out loud, because then if I say it out loud to people, I hold myself more accountable when I put it in the atmosphere. Um yeah, and self-care is not selfish. It's not, but binge thinking, it's not, it's I can see other people doing it. But again, that too has everything to do with where you came from. I look at it as I can go in the store with my kids and I can buy them everything, and then the kids will be like, "Are you gonna get yourself something?" In that bag, I got something for everybody. I'm the only one that we can go to the store and shop for years, and I don't buy myself something. I remember this one year my husband was like, and it's so funny for him to even be saying, it's like, why don't you go and buy you some bras or whatever, you know? And I'm just like, I got other things that I can do. And it's like, I'm not really into like that kind of stuff like that or whatever. It's like I got them, but he won't me to go and get stuff like, like nice stuff or whatever. And it's just like, I think for a year, he kept saying, go buy some, go buy some, go buy some. And I never went to go and buy them. And then just one day, he was just like, I done told you about 15 times to go and get you some bras. Now I'm gonna put this money in your hand. Go buy some. And it's like, if it's not designated for that or whatever, I ain't even gonna make up no excuses. It just, I don't usually take care of myself. I'm good at doing everything everybody else needs you to do or want you to do. But not me. Don't ain't gonna take care of Shauna. And I don't know what I just did. Did I just take myself out of the studio? Can y'all still, okay then. I don't know what I just did just then, going messing with everything. Um but oh Jesus. And sometimes for me, self-isolation is peaceful. But sometimes too, when I be in self-isolation and you keep thinking about all the things that you got going on, it just like, I don't know what's better. Sometimes I just need to get out and go and be around some other people or whatever. even if it's just to sit in the park or whatever, to see some other kids or something running around playing or whatever. I put the food away and don't eat anything. Just leave. Okay, Callie, that's what I'm talking about right there. Just like I went inside tonight and I cooked dinner. I cooked dinner and I cooked just enough for everybody else. Fixed everybody's plate and everything. I absolutely cooked nothing for me. Nothing. That's how I do. Girl, time out is legal. Yeah. My life has been dedicated to being a wife and mom. My youngest just turned 19. I'm allowed to love me too. I'm all for that, Kelly. Ooh, just to think that I just started over all over again. I have a 4-year-old that I did not give birth to. But I have a 4-year-old. So I'm right back at square I'm right back at square one all over again. The oldest is 32 and the baby is 4. I started all over again. um I've been cheap with myself for too long. Now I want it all. I I'm hoping to get to that place. I mean, anytime I go somewhere, if I'm going out of town or something, I gotta go and shop for myself. I can't just go and look in my closet or something and get myself stuff. Cause all I do is stuff for like I'm going out in the garden to do X, Y, and Z. I don't need to be dressed up. I don't need to be dressed up for none of that. So I don't be around here trying to be fancy and all of that stuff, getting dressed up and everything. But too, I would like to have stuff that I do. But also I don't really want to go out and go out and look for it either. I've never been that person. I don't know. But I definitely do feel myself trying to change and do some things different. And I think I'm giving myself more pushback than anybody else is giving or whatever. But I just had to come and say that because that was really weighing on me heavy. It's like, how do how do I be a wife? Did you have somebody to teach you how to do that or whatever? And it's like, no, girl, you like because and I also thought that too. I told myself forever and a day, um, I'm probably never ever gonna be married because my mom didn't get married. Anything that happened to my mama is I automatically assumed it was gonna happen to me. My mom passed away when she was in her 40s. I said, well, then that must mean I'm going to die too when I turn the same age she did. And I ain't let that go until, I think I wasn't supposed to say, but anyhow, um, I'm trying to learn this whole YouTube language thing because, honey, I'm used to just saying whatever it is that I need to say, but okay. Um, but everything how she moved and the way she did things, I've always like applied it to myself and thought that, it's gonna be the things that happened to me that I didn't like, those things I had to work towards to make sure that I don't take them along and do those same things to my kids. Some of those things I did do to my kids, but the thought of, honey, how you felt when you did it. But same thing is with this situation right here. I can't believe that here we are 21 years later and we still married. Just his sister was visiting the other day and I said, girl, don't you want to take your brother with you? She say, as long as I can bring him back. I say you can bring him back. Just take him. And I'm just joking because, like I said, is 1 minute is like, there are absolutely times and that's with any person in your life. You and other people, especially people you see every day of your life, you is not gonna like them on every day of the week. That's definitely us. But yeah. I'm learning. We all learning, and I guess with this conversation that we have, we all. I guess I'm not out there on a limb all by myself. But before I came here, I was thinking, I got to be the only one that's like out here going through this. But sight girl, when God made one limb, he made 50 more of them things on that same tree. My oldest is almost 34. I've been a mom over half of my life. Well, Callie, you know, in one of my stories, I tell you that I've been taking care of kids ever since I was 11 years old. 11. So I'll say my whole life has been consumed with taking care of kids. We at kid number 14. So I ain't had time. Even people say, well, do y'all even got a TV? Yeah, we got a TV. My husband say we just don't turn it on. Well, that's a lie though, child. That TV stay on. You gotta do little things for yourself. Yeah, that's why I'm starting that Kelly's starting to do like little things at a time. And I'm telling you, those little things still come along with guilt trips. But I am starting, to do little things. I come from the same life situation as you. No husband, just a bunch of single. When I say a bunch of them, Kelly, I mean a lot of them. Everybody around, everybody is a single mom. Everybody. And one thing that I can say, going back and looking at it, I would never want to do it single. Man, I can look back and I can just imagine what it was is that, yeah, no, I don't care how hard this is and how much hard work that it is. I guarantee you I wouldn't go back and say I'd rather do this by myself. Absolutely not. So love wins. I was the first to get married and the only to stay married. It's work. Absolutely. Well, Callie, we came from a lot of the same background. Yes, you're most definitely an overcomer. Thanks, Benj. Thank you. I'm sure trying to be. um, I left out that I'm the oldest of five and was taking care of kids as a kid, so my mama could work. Yes, Callie, that's the same situation that I have. It's like she had to go to work, and every kid that she had fell off on me. I became responsible for getting up, making sure my sister's hair was done, take her to school before I go to school in the morning, pick her up from school, and so forth and so on. And then after I started getting like 14, 15, then my aunt them started coming and dropping their kids off on me and everything. And so, you know, it just went from there till it ended up being number 14. So, um, that's what I grew up. Babysitter runs. Absolutely. Everybody kids was at our place. And then after a while, when you start to realize that people was taking kids to places where you were violated before, and then you start saying, oh, don't take them over there, then just bring them over here. So then, after a while, they know you don't want them to go and take the kids over there. Just bring them to you. You'll do it all. And then after a while, everybody get very comfortable. And before you know it, you everybody's mama. And those things, I don't regret any of those things. Like, I can look back and say, absolutely, I'm honored to have done it. But whew, yeah, child. Yep, the kids of the day could never. I mean, and then my kids is a lot of people assume, and because kids were pushed off on me when I grew up, it was something I absolutely did not go for with my kids. No, ma'am. Y'all go outside and play and be kids. You are not my babysitters. I don't leave my kids with the other kids to babysit. No, none of that. And me, we had a Soul Train line in the Walmart shopping in the grocery store with a whole line of 8 children. And let's go shop. But yeah, nobody babysitting nobody. We ain't never leave our kids home by themselves. No, no, no. I remember when our kids was 15 years old. We had 3 of them that was like the age of 15, and I ended up getting induced in labor one time and ended up going to the hospital, and we had to leave them there just for a little while their dad was at the hospital with me. Honey child, the oldest boy was trying to tell the girl that it's time to go in the house, and they out there cussing at each other and stuff in the park and calling us. Was such and such doing this because you ain't had it. I was like, child, please, the first time you leave them there by themselves, they cannot handle it. So it's like, all right, then let us get this together. So, but we never used to leave. Never. Nope. And especially all the things that happen in our life and stuff. We ain't leaving no kids home by themselves. You would have thought we had all like our kids with special needs or something, but we didn't trust that thing, leaving them home. They don't get to stay home by themselves. They don't babysit no other kids. And kids become resentful when they have to babysit other people's kids and everything. So, but yeah, I feel better coming on here and talking to you guys tonight and knowing that I'm not out here on the limb by myself. And I ain't the only one that sometimes I just want to, I don't want to get rid of them. I just want to not be around them for a little bit. And then they like sweet, what they call them, the sweet and sour the Sour Patch Kids. They sweet and sour sometimes. So but again, I appreciate you all for coming through and chatting with me tonight and keeping the conversation going, because y'all sure did help me out with some things. And it's good to see that, everybody going through a little something, that this is very normal in marriage. So, and just to be a little bit of encouragement to somebody else, you're going through something, say something to somebody. You may never know who you're talking to that, probably going through the same thing you're going through. And one more thing before I get out of here. For those of you all who don't know, there are going to be food shortages coming up very shortly because of this situation that's going on. I don't follow behind it too much because I try not to follow things that I don't have any control or can't do anything about, and that just gonna stress me out a little bit more. But they are there's some blockages and stuff supposedly in the Red Sea and everything, where products that we usually get are not going to get to us. So probably around about 3 months there is going to be shortages like it was before. Okay, Miss Coffee, so then I'm making sense to someone. Okay then. Yes. So what I'm saying is that I always encourage people every time that I'm on here, if you're not growing something, go grow you something. Find you a sweet potato vine and throw them anywhere in the yard that you can go, so you can have some. At least if you don't have anything else, you can go and dig you up a potato or 2 or 3 or maybe 50. Have something there. Or if you're going to, go ahead and start stocking up on you some things, because there's things happening all over this world. And it's just a matter of time, before it's somewhere in your neck of the woods or whatever. So, it's a lot going on in this world. So if you ain't already growing something, grow you some food, put your fruit tree or something out there in the yard. And if you go and buy vegetables, and all right, Miss Coffee, you're a prepper. Hey, now I need to hook up with you, Miss Coffee, because I'm a grower. But see, I don't know how to do all of that right now. And I tell you, we got tons and tons of fruit trees and all of that stuff out here. But usually what we do, I have freeze dried food and all. All righty then. Yeah, I like my beans and stuff like that I grow. I jar them up. That's real easy or whatever. But like I've been saying for a year now that I want to do canning and stuff like that, but I don't know how to do it. But when people be explaining and they have to go into details, it's just I'm so scared that you may do something wrong or whatever. And maybe I just need the glass mason jars that I just need to get out of being scared about it. Go ahead and get you some more mason jars and go ahead and get it on and popping. But and things are so weird. Like right now, it's wintertime. Honey, I got a good 15 tomatoes out there on the tomato vine, and it's still blooming. At this time, earlier today, I'm sitting out there looking at my banana tree. And my banana tree has tons of bees buzzing around the bloom that's on the banana tree. And I just was telling my husband yesterday that it's so weird to see those bees still buzzing around like they do. But, yeah, you just know the times are changing. But that is definitely something that I want to get into, is being prepared in that way. I freeze a lot of things, like my collard greens, my onions and stuff like that. I cut all of that stuff up, and then I store it away, like I store the potatoes and stuff away. But like yeah, I need to come on. You talk about those. You have a page, Miss Coffee? Let me click on Miss Coffee. I can't even click on it right now. Hi, Tashana. So glad I caught you live. Thank you for sharing our life. You are a spiritual big sis. Thank you very much. I'm glad I can be of some kind of encouragement for you. I'm just talking my real life. That is all meant to say, sharing your life. I understood what you said. Thank you for being here, Ebony. Use the food sealer. And I ain't never got one of those before, but like I got my deep freezer, but like I take everything and I cut it up in there. But too, when you prepping, your freezer can't be your only situation, because then when you run into a situation, what happened when your freezer go down? So that's a conversation that we can definitely have. I'm into that. You done got me real excited. Now this wasn't even about this right here, but I love talking about some ways to put things away, because I'm trying to get to how not to just be stacking things up in my deep freezer like that. But I actually want to get me a whole nother shed only for putting stuff in like that. But yeah, Miss Coffee, you got me excited even talking about that. But if you all are not growing anything to feed your family or yourself during this time, I'm going to encourage you going in that grocery store. I know you going over there to the fresh vegetable aisle and all of that stuff. Anything you get from over there, and it got some seeds and stuff in it, you ain't got to go and buy no seeds from the store. Try growing some of that stuff right there and see what you can do. So then if you fail at doing it at first, you haven't lost a thing. You got the seeds from your fresh vegetables that you had. So I just want to be a little bit of encouragement to, get you some stuff growing, because, yeah, that's what I mostly freeze too. And I even said that I'm about to I got about I haven't counted them in a long time, but I know I got about 60 chickens. So I was even thinking, like, everything's so expensive. It's so expensive right now. I'm thinking about knocking them down to like halfway, because I can always build from that. But okay, everybody. Until next time, thank you all for joining me. I forgot to monetize this live, a girl still learning. But anyways, I appreciate you all so much for hanging out with your girl tonight. And again, let me introduce myself like I always do at the end. Um, my name is we are Life with Tashana over here, where we the high class gardeners. And let me clarify that for you. We are high class gardeners over here because we grow food and we grow vegetables and all of that good stuff. But I don't play around with no worms and no bugs. And we don't spray that funny stuff on our food over here. But we will grow some food. I'm scared of bugs and stuff. Anywho, with that being said, that's why I got my husband that he don't mind going out there and messing with that kind of stuff. So that's what qualifies us over here as the high class gardeners. So until next time, again, I appreciate you all for coming through and spending your time with me, because you could have been anywhere else spending your time. Thank you very much. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Yeah, we are all normal women. Absolutely. Normal. Normal. Whatever that is to you, we normal. We can talk about it over here. And this is a safe space over here. So whatever we talking about in the comments, you're allowed to ask questions, whatever it is that you want to. You can be very comfortable over here. And as long as you stay respectful with it over here, we can talk about it. So until next time, see y'all later. And Miss Coffee, I'm going to check you out over there. Good night.